Okay, so on the matter of going through this process of not inhibiting your creation and just letting it be put out online without much friction or overthinking ways to kind of present and filter yourself, I've been trying to think of ways to organize all my different social accounts. So this is a problem I think a lot of creative managers have now, which is that there are so many different social platforms, and that for every different type of channel or different subject or project you want to do, you're going to need to have an account for every single social platform to make the most out of it. So for example, I've got my main channel, and then I've got, Twitter, Instagram, Threads, Mastodon, Blue Sky, etc., on and on and on for Curtis Holt. But if I wanted to share like studio stuff on the socials without it getting in the way, I'll need accounts for just studio stuff. If I want to do product things, I'll need an account for all of the product stuff. I've got a devlog channel. If I want to do just devlog type stuff, then I'll need more socials for all of that. And I think in the end, it will end up with like hundreds of different accounts. And I'm sure that people have tried to make, different softwares and projects to help you post to all of them. But the problem is obviously every platform changes their like API structure, different login methods and two-factor authentications and token expiry and all that kind of thing. That, it kind of crosses my mind that the easiest way just to post to just every different social without much friction is literally just to have a different device for every channel that's already logged into them anyway. And then sure, you may need to relog into some of them every now and again, but it just keeps it simpler and that avoids all of these technical issues. But it is a little bit over the top. Imagine that you've got like 5 different channels and you have 5 different computers just because you don't want to have to keep logging into everything every time or swapping between accounts. Some services like Instagram or YouTube make it easy to switch accounts, but not every service does. So I've been thinking about it, and it may be a bit of a waste of space, but I have been thinking more along the lines of, okay, maybe I should get a device logged in for every different corner of work. Obviously, people can only really do that if they have space and money or resources, and I have space. The money part is questionable, but I do have resources in the way of a fair number of backup computers. Not good ones necessarily, but just like hand-me-downs. And yeah, I mean, even old phones could serve the purpose as well, because if you're just posting to social platforms, all you really need is the file on the phone. So technically all I need is to be able to log in to updated versions of apps or websites and be able to access something like my Google Drive so files can be transferred. So the question is now, how many do I need? I just started putting together a spreadsheet to take a look at all of my different channels and stuff. So I've got Curtis Holt, the main channel, I've got Curtis Studio, I've got Curtis Devlog, I've got the Curtis Holt archives, I've got a secret channel that I won't mention, I've got a placeholder channel called Alternative Holt. I may clean that. It's just, it was made in preparation for something. And then there are 2 other channels I wanted to make for projects I haven't done yet. There's the Blenderness channel, an old game dev one, and one I need to do for an upcoming family project. In total from that list, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 projects. I'm not like actively posting stuff to all of those, so I'm just not like I'll need 11 devices. But this place will end up looking like one of those like Chinese social farms. I don't know if you've seen those, like rooms just with phones everywhere. I'll have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 like phones lined up somewhere. Would look pretty OP though, from like a content creator perspective. Oh, if I did that and then made a render farm, what the hell will this place look like? All right, let's see what I have available. All right, first of all, I moved to my more powerful computer recently, which means that I've got my now old work desktop available. So hang on. So this could be the Kurt Studio one, assuming that the current one there is main channel. So second channel, that can be plugged into a monitor just over here. Surface Go, so that could be one of the other like 9 or whatever, maybe for product type stuff. I'll just put this somewhere where I remember. All right, I've got a spare laptop here as well as 2 Raspberry Pis. So they could actually be kind of useful, but I imagine there may be some technical issue there. But of course, there's a laptop there as well. So I think this idea of actually having a device logged in per project or per channel might actually work. Might look a little bit crazy though. All right, that's another desktop. That's a backup one. And there are another 2 desktops wrapped up in bubble wrap over in the corner. So I think it might work out. Problem is now, do I have enough monitors and keyboards? Actually, I suppose things could be like hot swap, plugged and unplugged. I need to think about the layout because obviously if I do this, it's a bit OTT, but I also want to consider space consumption. One of the things I wanted to do with the 3D printer at some point was design new computer case components in the way of like, I hate computer cases. They take up far too much space. They're really hard to access in the way of like, when you open up the side of a computer case, you have to like unscrew a bunch of things and there are panels in the way and it's hard to like unwind cables and all that. I hate that. I like the idea of having components much more exposed. even if it's a detriment to noise or thermals, but more just so that everything can be accessed and then quickly taken out or replaced as needed, a bit more hacker accessible. Theoretically, if I made like a tower or something, a bit like a server tower, and designed like structural pieces to hold the components in place, then I could recycle things like these desktops so that it could be like a social access tower or something that manages the logins. There's also something I'm going to need to start doing that I think I'll call the roll call, which is, that a lot of companies are deleting accounts that haven't been accessed over like an extended period of time. Google has started doing it with Gmail accounts, I think, which is a bit problematic because, some people may be running important parts of their business using email accounts that they don't use just because they were needed for a login. With that in mind, it makes sense that if you are managing a lot of emails to log into different things, every now and again, you should log into each of them and then just send an email or something just to let the system know that, yes, this account is still in use. So I may need to do that at some point, maybe like every month, every couple of months. And that will be the roll call. I'll send an email from every account to one account. It's like a register to say, hey, I'm still here, I'm still accessible, just to make sure things are still alive. So if I go along with this idea, I'm sure I will show you what it looks like. My God, I can't stop this place from becoming a mess. I mean, look at little mobile system over there, the recording laptop thing, and its life support trolley. I have not gotten around to condensing that yet, but there's so much to do. Okay, I will catch you in the next one.